In this session, we will practice to configure AAA authentication by using TACACS server. In the previous video, we have done the same lab but using local authentication method. So the local authentication method is not a scalable method if we have many devices in our network, because we have to do this configuration of authentication of AAA authentication method in each and every devices in our network. So by using this an external server TACACS for AAA authentication, it is a scalable method, whereas we can configure this TACACS server for AAA authentication and we can tell each and every devices in our network to contact this TACACS server for authentication. So for this, we have configured here one topology. All the shown IP address is already configured here. TACACS server 10.100, PC 10.2 and router 10.1. Class C IP address are already configured. Now our aim is to configure the router 2 for AAA authentication by using TACACS server, so that for accessing this router for device administration, we will use AAA authentication by using this external server. We have opened here the router. The first thing we have to enable in this router the AAA method of authentication, AAA new model, for enabling the AAA authentication new model method. And the second thing, we have to tell this device where is the TACACS server is existing by using the command TACACS server host 192.168.10.100, which is our TACACS server. Before that, we have to just check the connectivity into the TACACS server, ping 192.168.10.100. Yes, we have the connectivity into this TACACS server. Now we have enabled the AAA authentication method. We have configured the TACACS server IP. Now we have to tell AAA authentication. AAA authentication should be used for login purpose, for device administration access purpose, for default, where default means for all the VTY and console lines. Then instead of using local authentication, we are using here user server group. So we should enter group and we are using TACACS plus. So this is the main configuration command here for telling the router, telling the device that we are using AAA authentication for login purpose and we are applying into all the login lines by using server group of TACACS. The next command, we should configure one authentication password in between this TACACS client and TACACS server. TACACS server key for authentication in between the TACACS client, where here it is router, and TACACS server 10.100. I'm entering here Cisco. So what we have entered so far, do show history. We have enabled the AAA new model authentication. TACACS server already configured the IP address, and TACACS server authentication used for login purpose in all the available lines, and we have configured the TACACS server key for authentication in between TACACS client and TACACS server. Now we will configure some credentials inside this TACACS server. So inside this packet tracer, we have option of settings of AAA inside this server. Under services, we can see AAA. Inside the AAA, we have two main options. One is network configuration and second is user setup. This network configuration is used for setting the connectivity in between this router and this server. So our client is router 192.168.10.1. So this is client name, client IP 10.1, and the secret key we entered inside this router is Cisco. Client name is router 2 here, and we are using server type TACACS. So the network configuration is done now here, and the next thing is we have to enter the credentials required for authentication inside this router 2. Admin 1, admin 1. So username admin 1, password admin 1. We are doing one more credential, admin 2, admin 2. Okay, so we have done the network configuration for this TACACS, and we have done the credentials inside this TACACS. Okay, now the configuration is finished. We can check from this PC by accessing into this router the authentication is working or not. So from PC 0, just to check the connectivity into this router, ping 192.168.10.1. We have the connectivity into this router. Now we will access this router from this PC for administration purpose by using telnet 192.168.10.1. So while we accessing from this PC into this device should authenticate with this TACACS server for user credentials. So we have created here two credentials, admin 1 and admin 2. Now we are first we are using admin 1. Admin 1 password is admin 1. Yes, we have the access. So this TACACS server is working here. The authentication for this user credentials are done from this router into this TACACS. Show users. You can see there is one user from 10.2 by using the user admin 1 into VTY0 line. We'll check that admin 2 also. Telnet 192.168.10.1 admin 2 for users. So we are now accessed the router by using admin 2 user from 10.2 from this PC through the VTY 0. So that is the configuration and verification for this TACACS server.